me begin by asking a question that is probably on many of your minds. Why do we need Spirit and Concord now that we have Alliance? It might seem that with the array of Alliance models, these two cars are redundant. Wrong. Let me give you 5 very good reasons why you need Spirit and Concord in your product mix. First, Spirit and Concord appeal to a different group of customers than Alliance. Let's talk more about this in a moment. Second, Spirit and Concord give you the only 6-cylinder engine in your passenger car line. Third, Concord is the only car that gives you big car comfort in your line. Fourth, the Spirit GT gives you a 4.2-liter 6-cylinder engine to satisfy those prospects who are looking for a car in the hot sporty segment of the market. And I'll talk more about this in a moment as well. Finally, the 5th reason you need Spirit and Concord is that these vehicles are priced to be truly outstanding values. To put it another way, Spirit and Concord appeal to prospects who fall outside the majority of people that we expect to be drawn to Alliance. For example, there are younger buyers who want a sporty car with substantial performance characteristics at a reasonable price. That's Spirit GT. At the same time, you have people who want the traditional comfort and luxury of a bigger passenger automobile in addition to 6-cylinder performance at an economical price. That's Concord. Alliance, for all its many attributes, doesn't satisfy these particular consumer demands. And that, in brief, is why we've produced this program about Spirit and Concord. Both cars represent critical elements in your product mix. To illustrate an important aspect of these two cars, let me talk about a particular market segment beyond the current Alliance's appeal. As you know, sporty cars with gutsy performance are making a big comeback. And today, this is one of the hottest segments of the market. There's a lot of interest in the likes of Camaro, Mustang GT, and the LN7. And we want to get our share of that business. So we've positioned the Spirit GT to go after that market with a load of standard equipment and a price that makes it a tremendous value. Let me tell you what I mean. For a moment, let's say that I'm a new car salesman and you're a customer. Now, like a lot of people who walk into the showroom, you've been out shopping around. You've seen the Camaro, the Mustang GT, and the LN7. And now you've come in to look at my Spirit GT. I walk up to you and go through my meet and greet tap dance, and immediately you hit me with those all too familiar words. What's your best price on the Spirit GT? Being a good salesman, I quickly discovered that you're trying to put me into a bidding competition with the other 3 cars you've been looking at. So before I give you a price, I tell you that I want to be sure that I'm comparing apples with apples. I say something like, does the price you've gotten for those other cars include all of these features? Take a look. Your answer is that yes. Essentially, we're talking about comparably equipped cars. As soon as I hear that, I know I've got you, because I've done my homework, and I know what kind of numbers you've gotten on these other 3 cars. So I come back at you with something like this. Mr. Customer, I'm going to give you this Spirit GT with all of the equipment you see here, not for the $8,600 they're asking for the Camaro, not for the $8,000 you'd have to shell out for the Mustang GT, not even for the $7,900 tag they've got on the LN7. No, Mr. Customer, I'm going to give you this Spirit GT for just $6,495. Now, I ask you, is that a value? You better believe it is. Especially when you consider that I'm giving you all the equipment and features you'd find on the other cars, plus our exclusive buyer protection plan and our 5-year no-rust-through warranty supported by Z-Bart factory rust protection. And consider this. I'm not just giving you a better value for your money, but I'm also making a dramatic reduction in your monthly payments. Now, I think you'll agree that any customer offered this kind of proposition has got to take a long look at the Spirit. Here's a truly unprecedented value in today's market. And value for the money is really the heart of the Spirit, Concorde, and Eagle story for 1983. And not so incidentally, value for the money is the philosophy on which our 1983 advertising program is based. We're going to be selling a value story, sure. We're going to talk about price, but we're going to relate price to what the customer is getting for his money. What we're dealing with here is a basic formula which says price plus level of equipment equals value. And value is a common denominator of the purchase decision. Two of the most outstanding examples of this value equation are the Spirit DL and the Spirit GT. As you know, in 1983, these two cars will comprise the total Spirit line. Look at what we're offering in the DL. Here's a car for the subcompact buyer who's looking for luxury in a small car, along with a full complement of those features which support the image of the fully equipped car. Take a look. These items are the components of our value story, and this price is what validates our claim that the value of the DL truly exceeds its price. When it comes to the GT, we're going to offer an even greater value story. This car is aimed at the buyer who is looking for something sporty with good acceleration and performance. Well, we're giving them all they'd expect in the DL package, plus almost $1,000 of interior, exterior, and functional features which together make the GT a truly sporty automobile. But what makes this $1,000 of extras an incredible value is that it costs only $500 more than the DL. And that takes us right back to our equation. Price plus level of equipment equals value. Turning to Concorde, you'll find that we're taking the same price-value approach. For our retail customers, we offer the four-door in a base and DL version and have base DL and a limited trim level available in the wagon. As in the past, the DL will be the Concorde flagship, and we're going to support our value image with a price of $6,995, which, like the Spirit prices I've quoted, is firm for 1983. One other thing I want to mention about Spirit and Concorde, and this is a point that puts us in some pretty exclusive company. Even with our six-cylinder engines and all the extra performance they deliver, every car is above 20 miles per gallon for city EPA mileage. And I think that's a significant point. Now, let's look at Eagle. As with Spirit and Concorde, the strategy is to sell value. Now, unlike Spirit and Concorde, the Eagle value perception relates not so much to its price as to its four-wheel drive characteristics. Value here is represented in the unique automotive technology that gives the customer two-wheel drive economy when you want it and four-wheel drive security when you need it. Now, this is essentially the same thing we've been saying about Eagle since the introduction of Select Drive. And I think it's significant to see just how well we've done in communicating the value story of the Eagle to the minds of the public. During this past year, Eagle has made gains in two significant areas. One, in the public's perception as a value for the money, the Eagle wagon rose 39% and the SX4 jumped 55%. Under the heading Quality of Workmanship, Eagle wagon increased by 38% and SX4 by 52%. Obviously, value and quality are two features that should be basic components of your sales presentations. Now, to that point, I want to show you how a salesman from one of our Western dealerships goes about the business of selling Eagle value and quality to his customers. This is a real situation shot with a hidden camera, and I think what makes it particularly interesting is that the salesman had to begin by overcoming one of the most basic objections in our business. Watch.
All right, Dan. First of all, let me explain to you a little bit about the Eagle, just kind of give you a history of the vehicle. Okay. The Eagle this year.
$12,000.
$12,280 on this one.
What options, are there any options in there?
Okay. Looking down through here will give you all your standard equipment. Okay, on this side here. And these are the options that this particular unit had. Okay. Now, for instance, the vehicle comes standard with power steering, power brakes. Now, you'd want those things, wouldn't you?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And of course, it does have the select drive system on it.
What's
Okay.
that?
Select drive is basically what it's going to be doing, okay,
Yeah.
is by pulling down here, flipping from two-wheel drive to four-wheel drive. Okay, just by flipping the switch
By
here.
just inside, I mean,
Just by inside. Now, what that
you don't
does...
have to do anything to the hubs and all
No,
that stuff?
that's where it's different from a Jeep. Up here on the front, okay, you have a sliding type device on it. Basically what that does is that couples, okay, with a vacuum type system
Just
in there.
normally it has rear-wheel drive.
Rear wheel drive, okay, it starts out with the rear wheel drive, okay.
How does
Now
that work?
you can drive it in four wheel drive all the way around town, but it's more economical to drive it in two wheel drive, okay. Now to explain the system to you, you have the engine going down to a transmission, to a transfer case, just like your Wagoneer, okay? From that point on, okay, you're just going to the two-wheel drive, okay? It's going to power the back wheels, okay? You come into an area where you decide you're going to need that four-wheel drive, taking the family up camping, that situation, maybe just getting out of your driveway on
That's
a
what
wintry
I'm
morning,
wondering about is-
okay? All you'd have to do is flip that switch, okay? And what that does, that engages the drive line to the transfer case and also the axles to the wheels. Okay, so it's a true part-time four-wheel drive system. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Now, on this
But you said
system,
it was more economical. How much? What?
I would
you
say,
have
and
any
this is
idea
just a
what-
guess, 2 to 3 miles per gallon on it. Okay, the vehicle has an EPA rating of 20 miles per gallon. It's just the EPA, and of course you're. Depending on where you're driving, how you're driving, that's all going to vary. Okay. Now, as far as how this car is going to differ from the car that you're driving right now, of course it is larger. Okay. As far as a family car now, would you prefer, would your wife be driving this a lot too?
Yeah.
Okay. Would she prefer an automatic or does she like the 5-speed?
She'll like the 5-speed.
Okay.
I mean, she won't mind, and I'd much rather have it. So.
Okay. So the 5-speed is going to be good. And of course, it's a lot more economical too on it. Okay. The automatic transmission is, a great system also. It's just going to, depend on what's best for you.
Any price difference between the two?
Your 5-speed does add on a little bit on it, but your automatic transmission is going to be more expensive than the 5-speed. Okay. All right. Now,
5-speed, is that like an overdrive, or is it
yes, the
5?
5th speed is an overdrive. Okay. And this, of course, is not going to be like a standard 4-wheel drive truck or a truck today where you'd start out in second gear. This is full synchro mesh. Okay. Start out in 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all the way around.
Okay.
Okay. In the compartment area here, all right, they've made it quite plush. You have fully reclining seats, both the driver's and the passenger side. Okay. You have left and right remote control mirrors. Okay. The right remote control is an option. Power door locks are equipped in this vehicle also. Now you can control all 4 locks. Okay. And you have kids, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The nice thing about that is you'll always know just by hitting there, you'll know that their back doors are locked. Okay. That's advantageous for you. I don't know about you. It's hard for me sometimes to reach across and
Yeah.
to
Make
check
sure
that.
they're
Also, you can unlock it and get everyone out real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the advantage there. If you'd like to go ahead and have a seat there, I'll explain to you the control area. Is that seat comfortable for you? Is that close enough to the pedals?
Not quite, but how does
Your
it
adjustment
adjust?
is right under here. Right in the middle there. Find it?
Nope. Ah,
There you
is
go.
that-
Now pull towards me. And then there you go.
Okay.
Okay, now you can also recline the seat farther back if you like to, lay back a little bit. Just a bit.
What
This
color?
lever is right here.
Whoops.
There you go.
Oh, and then it stopped by the thing. Okay.
Right. Okay. Now let me get the, leave the key here. Let me get on the other side there, go over a few things with you. One thing you'll notice on the demo drive when we go out on it, the tremendous handling capabilities. A lot of people, you know, expect a four-wheel drive to ride rough. Okay, you'll find that this rides very, very comfortably. Okay, your walnut grain. This is all standard equipment. Of course, this particular vehicle is equipped with the air conditioning on it. Quartz digital clock is also standard equipment. Okay, they've moved your hood release, so it's very easy to get to. It's right up here. Okay. Now in your back seat area.
Do most new cars use unleaded fuel?
Yes, they do. Since about 1975 and on, that's where you'll see most of them now.
It's weird that they don't come all the way to the back seat.
Well, there's an advantage to
worried
that.
about my kids tearing up the. They'd be sitting on the edge of that, kicking the back.
Well, let me show you here. In the up position, okay, of course you have enough room. Now I stand about 6'1", okay. As you can see, I can sit in here quite comfortably. You have good leg room, good back support all the way up. Makes it very nice for a long drive. If you're taking the neighbors out for a drive or out for the evening or something like that, they can get in a car where they're not going to have their knees up around their chin, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and at the same time still have a lot of headroom. They're not crunched down like that. Makes it advantageous. Now, let's say you're on that camping trip, right?
Okay.
You might be driving at night and decide you want to lay the kids down for the evening. Just by setting this down here. Now, see, this is going to fold flush here. Okay? Go ahead and lay your kids out here. Any storage or stuff that you may have had laying back here, now you see you can store all that down in here.
Oh, I see.
So that makes it a big advantage to having this area all clear.
Yeah, I guess if we filled that out, I was just worrying about them sitting there and going, you know.
Well, of course, if they were going to be sitting down, you'd want the seat back up.
Yeah,
On it.
yeah.
Their seat belts on. But if they are
I
sleeping
don't
back
know.
here, we should store.
We tend to just fill out this whole area and let them play as we drive, which I know isn't exactly safe, but it seems to work more effectively than making
keeps them out of the hair.
Yeah.
Let me show you this
Thanks,
back
thinking.
deck release here.
That doesn't. How much? Yeah, that's not very high between the.
I'd have to measure exactly what that is because I don't know. I would guess, what, about almost 3 feet?
But it's.
Talking about from here to here?
Yeah. Well,
How old are your children?
8, 6, 4, and 9 months.
I think sitting down back here, I still think probably your 8-year-old would still be comfortable back through there.
I'm just wondering in terms of, does it seem like this must be, is that cargo space under there?
Right, let me show that to you then. Okay, now you notice that'll lift completely out of the way on it. The nice thing I like about this, especially if your wife is going to the store or something, the gate will lift by itself, okay? She's carrying groceries or something, and then it slows itself down
Ah.
there at the end.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
nice. You don't get the.
Do you carry tools with you
Yeah.
in your car? Okay. This is one thing you'll really appreciate. Up underneath here, of course, there's your poly spare there. All right, gives you all this area, all in through here, storing those tools, jumper cables, tow straps, that type of thing. Things that you might not want to be seen, keep out where the kids aren't going to play with them, and that type of thing.
There. Oh, nice. Doesn't seem like very much clearance, or maybe it's my imagination because the car's so high. you know, between the...
Well, what you have, you also have your fuel tank along here. Okay. Okay, now let's talk about the body a little bit. All right. First of all, you've been off the road before, haven't you? In a four-wheel drive?
Yeah.
Or maybe just in your car, okay, driving around. You see these rocks and boulders and stuff like this. You might even take a look at your car right there. Okay, you'll notice down here along the sides, it's very vulnerable to rocks and things like that.
Yeah, I
hitting it.
have a bashed-in oil pan, as a matter of fact,
Okay.
from doing exactly that.
The nice thing about this particular car, it can take just about any kind of abuse that might come to it.
What do you-
Okay? See, all that's protected there.
That's
See that?
crazy.
Isn't that great? Okay, now it comes all the way up and through here. Okay? All protected right here. But yet it's backed by metal behind it. Put your fingers back through there. Feel it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that...
It's just a plastic. Very pliable. Okay. Makes it really nice if, you know, a branch or something like that comes alongside. Again, the rocks.
How about, well, I'm just wondering in terms of fixing if it got hit. That
If it
stuff-
got hit, okay, see, it comes in sections. Okay?
Yeah.
You're not going to have to replace the whole unit. Let's say you did hit a real good branch and tore this right off. See, this is all you would replace. This section, and that section are all different. Okay.
Is it as expensive as regular bumpers? I wouldn't think
Oh,
so.
no.
It's just...
Plus you have just your standard door moldings here. Okay. Protect other cars from, you know, when they open their doors hitting
Can the kids
into
take them
yours.
off?
I don't think so, unless they've got some good pliers on
Oh,
them.
they did real well with that.
Did they? Okay. Another thing you might notice when you've opened up your door, I don't know exactly how much room that you have, but on our AMC cars, okay, got quite a bit of door panel area. Okay, putting a lot more metal between you and maybe an oncoming car on it. Also giving you a very solid feel all the way around. Unitized body construction on it, which gives you less squeaks and rattles, you know, as the years go by and it's taken up and down roads, that type of thing.
Yeah, less of that tin can feel.
Right. Here we can show, Dan, in this area here where the metal is actually exposed, you can actually see the thickness and the gauge of the metal. Okay? Let me take this hood. Now, first of all, you might notice it is a counterbalanced hood. You don't have a rod holding this up. Okay? Also, I can take this car, I can actually shake the whole car by that hood. Okay? I can lean into it as much as I want. I can slam it. It's built quite strong. That's the kind of metal that's being used all throughout the whole vehicle.
Now that you've slammed it, can I take another look at the engine?
Sure.
Looks like somebody spilled some gum on it or something.
Oh, it's probably part of the grease that comes from the factory. Of course, we get that all cleaned up for you. Now, in the engine area, okay, this, of course, this is a 258 six-cylinder engine. Okay, Dan? It's a cast iron block, 7 main bearing engine. Okay? Now, most engines are 5 main bearing. Okay? This is 7 main bearing, giving less pressure on each bearing, giving it a longer life. You'll notice all your spark plugs are easily accessible, distributor and ignition. In fact, you can even get to your oil filter there with both hands. Kind of makes it nice for maintenance.
Yeah, that's really
Okay.
nice. I like
They haven't sealed the carburetor area here. A lot of them, you know, you have to actually have tools to get to it.
Yeah.
Okay, just the old wing nut, just like you have in your older cars.
Is this plastic?
No. Here your
The
cowl is
radiator?
on it.
No, it's not the radiator. That's the problem I have with that one is you get a crack in that and they can't solder it.
Uh-huh.
It's just gone.
Now this does have the heavy-duty cooling on it, okay, which consists of the cooling overflow, your clutch-type fan on it.
What's clutch to that?
What that does, I may be wrong. Again, it just gives more cooling on the vehicle. And with this here, this will give a Venturi type effect on it, cause a better cooling on a higher capacity radiator.
Yeah, that fan's about 4 times the size of mine.
Have you got just the electric cooling on yours, or
Yeah,
electric fans?
I think I had, yeah, and it's
Turn on as
looks
you
like
need
it's
them.
run with a rubber band.
Right.
280 years. Only 20 miles per gallon?
Right, that's your rating on
Haven't
this one.
always.
Okay, now you do have a higher highway estimate. I've got that inside that I'll show that to you. Do you have any other questions on the engine area? As you can see, it's fairly basic, and it's not going to be much different than your standard type engine. And the nice thing about this engine, okay, is it's going to give you, it's proven in it.
What kind of... Looks like somebody spilled some gum on it or something.
Oh, it's probably part of the grease that comes from the factory. Of course, we get that all cleaned up for you. Now, in the engine area, okay, this, of course, this is a 258 6-cylinder engine. Okay, Dan? It's a cast iron block, 7 main bearing engine. Okay? Now, most engines are 5 main bearing. Okay? This is 7 main bearing, giving less pressure on each bearing, giving it a longer life. You'll notice all your spark plugs are easily accessible, distributor and ignition. In fact, you can even get to your oil filter there with both hands. Kind of makes it nice for maintenance.
Yeah, that's really
Okay.
nice.
They haven't sealed the carburetor area here. A lot of them, you know, you have to actually have tools to get to it.
Yeah.
Okay? Just the old wing nut, just like you have in your older cars.
Is this plastic?
No. Here your
The
cowl is.
radiator?
On it.
No, the top of the radiator. That's the problem I have with that one is you get a crack in that and they can't solder it.
Uh-huh.
It's gone.
Now, this does have the heavy-duty cooling on it, okay, which consists of the cooling overflow, your clutch-type fan on it.
What's
Okay.
clutch to have?
What that does, and I may be wrong, it just gives more cooling on the vehicle, and with this here, this will give a Venturi type effect on it, cause a better cooling on a higher capacity radiator.
Yeah, that fan's about 4 times the size of mine.
Have you got just the electric cooling on yours, or electric fans?
I think I had, yeah, and it's
Turn on as
looks
you
like
need
it's
them.
run with a rubber band.
Right.
280 years. Only 20 miles per gallon?
Right, that's your rating on
Haven't
this one.
always.
Okay, now you do have a higher highway estimate. I've got that inside that I'll show that to you. Do you have any other questions on the engine area? As you can see, it's fairly basic, and it's not going to be much different than your standard type engine. The nice thing about this engine, okay, is give you the reliability. Okay. Give you the reliability. Give you the reliability. Okay. Give you the reliability. Give you the reliability. Okay. Give you the reliability.